Hello everyone, welcome back. Welcome to the stream. Today we are going to be focusing on some VMenu work. A stream for about an hour, but we're going to focus on some VMenu stuff today. It's been a little while since I've done anything with VMenu, so I think it would be a cool thing to share around and have some fun with. So let's go ahead and take a look at VMenu and mess around with it today, see what we can get into. Let me just make sure this stream is announced and we should be good to go. Welcome to the stream. Good morning, everyone. It's still morning, a little later than I normally stream today, but we will see how it goes. All right, let's focus on some VMenu today. We're going to work on some add-on vehicles because one thing I noticed while we were recording FivePD this week is I didn't get to give everybody the new cars because they don't understand how to spawn them because they don't know all the codes. So I'm going to work on that. Welcome, person in the chat. Thank you for joining today. We're going to do some VMenu stuff. All right, take a look at our add-ons.json file. So we don't have any add-on vehicles set in here at the moment. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and set up the add-on vehicles for this file. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And then we're going to check it out in game, make sure all of them are streamed correctly. And if they are, we'll know everything is working properly, which is really awesome. All right, let's get straight into this one then. We're just going to go ahead and go through every single one of our resources inside of our folders. And we're going to add all of the custom vehicle names to this file one by one, which is going to be interesting. I am doing all right today. I am exhausted. I stayed up very late last night with all of the FivePD group, and we were recording a bunch of episodes. The first one came out today, so if you're interested in that, make sure to go check it out. But there's a lot of cool stuff coming out. There's a lot of cool stuff we're working on, and I can't wait to share it with all of you. There's some really cool stuff. I'm going to try to focus a little bit more on gaming, and then the live streams are going to be more technical videos and stuff. But we'll see how it goes. We'll see what the response is, and go piece by piece to figure out what people want to see. So yeah, let's go ahead and just start. We're going to go one by one on our resources and try to figure out exactly what we're going to use for our vehicles, and we're going to go there, and we're just going to go straight down one by one in here. So we're going to start with our F18. Oh, I'm glad you watched it. Let me know what you think of it. I know a lot of people like the longer videos where in FivePD you have like the whole story from the beginning to the end, so I'm trying not to cut out any parts compared to like videos like where we go on random service and stuff. All right, add-on vehicle name 1. Pretty much how you do this is a lot of people have been asking me how this works. So you just add 18 and then the CBA or whatever your vehicle name is. It's going to be whatever's before these file extensions. That's what your name is going to be in here. So that is our first vehicle we have added. We're just going to go down the list and go one by one and figure it all out. So this is 22 Transit. How's it going, Zayden? I cannot speak this morning. Apparently, it's going well for me. Hopefully, it's going well for you. All right, so we're gonna do 22 Transit. I swear this is one of the ones we added in the other day. And then if you need to add more lines, it's just JSON files. So you're just gonna add another comma and then the parentheses, and then you just keep going down the list one by one until we figure out all of ours. So we're just gonna keep doing that. We're gonna look at all of these. So you can see there's this one. I don't think is going to be one that I'm going to add all of the models in for, because that would take a very long time. We'll leave this one for last. 2018 DLC pack we're going to leave for last, but we'll come back to that one. That ambulance is no longer streamed, so I'm just going to go ahead and leave that alone. BC pack is streamed. This has a bunch of our cars in it, so we are going to have to go ahead and add all of these in here. So we'll just go one by one. Let's do BC08 Charger. That's our first one. Add a comma, and we'll go one by one. BC13 Expedition, BC13 Expedition. Here's our next one. Then we're gonna add another line, and it's BC Expedition 9. So we'll do that. BC13E XPK9, like that. Make sure you don't misspell it. We're gonna add another one. We're gonna do PC 14 Charger. There we go. you know if there is a script that adds cuffing animations to the interaction menu? Animations for cuffing, I'm not that sure. I know I have a script on our local 5 PD server which just cuffs the player, but it doesn't do an animation of cuffing the player. But I would assume if that exists, somebody has made it on the forums somewhere. It sounds like something that people would want. So you may want to just look around the forums because they probably have something over there that would work for what your needs are. And we're going to do BC16 Expedition 9, just like that again. Perfect. We're going to add another one, BC18 charger. And then we have BC18. We're just going to keep going down the list here till we get all of them. We have BC18 F150 bed. We have got that one. We have the same thing but with a K9. BC18 F150 bed K9. Like that. BC18 Tahoe, because Tahoes are cool. And then we have the same thing with a K9. Tahoe K9. I don't think I've ever used any of these cars, but now that we have it set up, it may be something that we can use, which would be cool. We have another one. We have BC20 Expedition again. And then we're just going to keep going down the list and do this once more. BC20 Expedition K9. Can you find a standalone police alert script? I believe I found one yesterday. God, let me try to pull it up. I found one on the forums the other day. Let's see. You may want to try something like this. It doesn't work with any frameworks, so I would assume it may work for you. It says it's intended to use with ESX, but it doesn't require it. That's something that may work for you. I'm not that sure. Maybe there's probably others out there. Quentin in chat, hey, do you know of any alert scripts? Do you guys use anything on your server? Because I know you guys do standalone stuff, so maybe you have an idea. But I'm not that sure. That's just one I found just from looking at it for a second, but it's something that I can for sure look into for a future video though. All right, let me do BC21. Sure. Perfect. We're in the 21. The one I just found is called Outlaw Alert. I'll send it in chat and you can take a look at it and see if it's something that works for you. I don't know. I didn't look that far into it. I don't know if it requires anything, but you don't use any alert scripts? Okay. Yeah, I'm not that sure. That's a hard one because most alert scripts work alongside cores. So it may be something where you're going to need a core for it. But it's something that you can at least look into. All right. We've almost made it through all of the ones in this file, which I don't even think we actually actively use, but I'm adding them anyway. Because why not? We have some time. Waiting for videos to render in the background anyway, so we can go ahead and just continue. Add an Impala here. And then we have a Silverado. Ram. Perfect. There is our first folder done. We have a BMW bike, so it's going to be Police B. Perfect. Yeah, adding any of these things to an add-on menu is ridiculous. I don't like doing it either. So you are not alone in that. But you know, I do want to add them just in case we use them for something. I think it would be cool to have. Perfect. Let's see what else we have in here. EMS fire. So a ambulance, a fire truck. I do remember this one. And then a fire truck. I could make a Word document, but the thing is, it's the same amount of writing. So why not just do it directly? I could make a Word document, I guess. I guess means just copying and pasting a bunch of stuff. And I'm still having to format it in JSON anyway, so not a big deal. Heli rescue. Nope, that's not the one. I'm looking for all of my cars. Large boat's one of them. Large boat. It was large boat. We were trying to spawn that last night. Ran into a problem. LSPD. Here's a bunch of them, right? Yeah. Glad to see 5PD's back. Me too. I'm happy to finally be back recording it. We'll see how it does on the channel. I have quite a lot of videos prepared for it. So we'll see. We'll see how it does. PD charger. PDCV. PDCV PI. Yeah, the phone script that I recommend would be the one I just did a video on. I haven't found anything that's better than that one. Unless you're using like a framework, but then you're probably going to use something that works for your framework. But the one that I did the other day, it seems to be great and a lot of people like it and it's really popular right now, so I would go with that one. Why don't I make a folder called cars? The only reason I don't have a folder called cars for all the packs is because I do like to modify them one by one. And then I disable them depending on if they cause crashes and stuff. And I prefer to actually keep them mostly all separate for the packs I install. So I don't have to modify it in any weird ways. All right, we got the medium boat in. Look for anything else we have in here. This is the large pack, I think. Yeah, we got quite a few in here. Glad you're enjoying the videos. I'm very happy to continue doing them. It's been quite good to get back into stuff. I was a little out of the scope with doing school and stuff for a while, but everything's finally calmed down, so I've had some time to actually take a look at stuff and continue doing things. Do you know how to add cars? I'm probably gonna add a couple cars in this video, but I do have 2 videos already on it on the channel. If you want to take a look at those, they go over a lot about how you install cars, how you do them with meta files and all of that as well, depending on what car you have. So if you're interested in that, the videos are on the channel and in the FiveM playlist. I would recommend checking out. All right, we have 14 charger, 16 explorer, forest, like that. Perfect. When you have time, can you help me with the phone script? I feel like that would be something cool to add to my server. I probably can. It's the only problem is it does require a couple dependencies, so it's a little annoying to install, but pretty cool. Can you please help me add a Sheriff Vest pack on Discord? I looked at many vids, so I can't get it. Okay, so here's my problem with all the packs, and the reason I don't do videos on EUP stuff is because if you're running a server over 8 slots, it's just it kind of you have to pay Patreon. It gets into a bunch of stuff, so I could do it locally. It's a little bit more of a thing I don't like doing, but I can I do think I can probably do a video on it at some point for EUP stuff. Hi, do you think you can make a YTD and a YTF file for my FiveM ready for a cop car? I don't do the development of vehicles. I've never messed with it. I don't like messing with it. So I'm probably not the person to ask about that, but there's plenty of tutorials probably online about how you can make it FiveM ready. I don't know how to add cars to the VMenu. Well, that's perfect because I'm doing it right here. You just open up the addons.json file, and then you're going to copy the name of the car in the files. So for this case, we have like 18 charger, and you're just going to put it in this list, and then you're going to add, the more you add, you're just going to keep it in a JSON format. And then at the end of this, I'll throw it in a JSON validator. And I can show you how you can validate the file so you make sure it doesn't break in any way. EUP is a pain. It is. It very much is. I need a vest for Sheriff and I can't get it. There's plenty of FiveM ready EUP menus and systems on the forums. I would start there, and then if you need to stream extra custom clothing, there's a lot of guides in their documentation on how you can do that. And maybe I'll do a video on it at some point if it's not too big of a hassle to do locally. All right, we have another 18 Tahoe here. Welcome to the stream. Glad you are hanging out today. We have one called, let's see here. I just move this to the side so I can get a little bit easier time. I moved it to the side and then I moved my other window. That's the way of doing it. All right, let's do 19. Ooh, perfect. And another line. We have New Vic. And another line. We have Tahoe. Guarantee there's going to be like a duplicate with that Tahoe one, but whatever. All right, there's that pack done. Let's go do here. Police Mav just replaces the default one. We're not going to have to worry about that. PW cart is a custom one. How do you make VMenu have permissions for admins? I'll show you a little bit in a moment on their permission system. I was going to do a full video on it, and I never got around to it. Still on my list, though. But I'll show you in a couple minutes when we finish putting all these in on how you do it. I don't mind showcasing it a little bit. It's just the permissions file. A little annoying to do, but it's possible. All right, highway patrol. We got 4 vehicles in here. 18 charger. I swear we already have one called 18 charger, but we're gonna find out how broken all of these are once we get in game. That's for sure. I've not actually looked at all these vehicles in a very long time. HP Tahoe. The link to the video for the phone? Sure, give me 1 sec. That's another motorcycle. Yeah, let me get you the video for the phone. It's a pretty good video. It's a little bit long because it does require a little while to install, but still a good video. There you go. All right, we've installed that. Let's see what else we have in here. Security pack. This is the one we installed the other day, but we'll add it still. You're working on a New York City server right now? That's really cool. Just make sure you're not using a GTA 4 map. I know Rockstar has a lot of problems with that for some reason. So just be careful. All right, we're adding our security vehicles now. EUPs are really pain. When people walk far enough away from their pants, they become detached from their body, and the pants move like a large prop that can start in your hand. I have had problems like that with a couple outfits, and I just normally scrap them. I just say don't use them because it's just too much of a pain to fix, and I'm not a person to fix it. That's for sure. All right, we got all our security vehicles in here now. Small boat. I'm pretty sure this is literally just called small boat. It is. Very nice. Broken lights are my worst enemy. People say you can fix them, but I've had no luck. Fixing broken lights is modifying the XML, well, not the XML files. The God, what are they? See, now it's in my brain. Now I'm not going to be able to understand these files. Modifying the meta files is the way to fix them. I don't deal with it. But I know you can fix them. All right. Sandy Shores PD cars. Gonna add those in here. I don't think I've ever used them, but I'm gonna add them in anyway. I'm using Liberty City, but it's paid and works amazing. Very cool. I do know, just be careful with it, because Rockstar, at least from what I heard, they were taking down stuff a little while ago. So just make sure to keep an eye out on any GTA 4 type maps. Best EUP for department you have? Yeah. So a lot of people, I think, just end up making their own, because it just causes too many problems. But obviously that costs a lot, so it's not really viable for everybody. But it happens, you know. That's true. All right. I didn't realize I have so many vehicles in this server. I do have a lot. I didn't actually want to use that one anymore. Towing, VBasic, VMenu, real planes, whitelist IP, YMAP. I swear I had more vehicles though. Unless it wasn't that gigantic folder, which would have been unfortunate. Do you have a video on how to set up a framework? Which framework? I have one on Essentials mode, VRP, QB Core. Which framework are you talking about? I'll send a link if you want it. It uses most the Essentials mode is a manual one, but the QB Core and ESX are easy installers using TXadmin. Glad your issue got resolved. Yeah, it's Zayden. Yeah, that's what I heard too. They were going after people using the GTA 4 maps for some reason. But Rockstar, I don't know what's up with them. I don't know if they're still doing it at all. Did we do that one? We did do that one. So where is all of the where's that gigantic folder that I skipped over? Because now I don't remember what it was. 2018 DLC, that's what it was. I don't even know which one. This isn't like even police cars. Why do I even have these in here? Are we even running this? I don't think we're even running this. I have no clue what that framework is at Nat 2K15s. But if you want to send it to me in a DM on Discord, I can for sure look into it. It just depends on what the setup requirements are. I don't mind doing it. Place me. So when you are done with modifying your files, one thing I always do is I always copy what I just did. I'm going to copy my JSON. Here. And then I'm going to pull something up like a JSON validator, and I'm going to throw it in here, and I'm going to validate it. Ignore the last one because, oh, there you go. There's going to be more in here, and I can just make it easy. Paste the rest of this in. There we go. Valid JSON. As long as it says valid, you're good to go because you got all of your cards in here, and they're all valid. So very cool. Our file is valid. All right, let's take a quick look at our permissions.cfg, and I can show you a little bit about VMenu permissions. That's my Discord for the person asking in chat. So let's have a little chat about VMenu permissions for a minute. So VMenu permissions, kind of how this works is as you scroll down, you can see that there are different menus. So you're going to find the one that is kind of like whatever you're going to want to disallow for normal users. And remember, by default, you have ACE permissions that uses like group moderator, group admin. So you're going to find whatever group you have here. And then you can see built-in.everyone is going to be everyone who has it. And these actually have no permissions because they're actually highlighted out. So they're commented out. So you're going to find the one that you want to disallow, and you're going to disallow, let's say, for vehicle god mode. So you're going to disallow the all here by adding a hashtag. And then you're going to enable any of the other ones you want them to have access to. It's that simple. So if you want to disable all of them, you can do that. But if you want them to be able to do keep clean, you can do that like that. And then if you do want everybody to be able to do everything overall, you can change it to just like admins have the whole menu. You can do group.admin vmenu.vehicleoptions.all. So you're just going to change this up to modify to what you need for your server. So you just kind of uncomment and comment lines out, and then same with every single option in here, and then that will allow you to modify the menu to restrict it. And I will do a video on this. I promise I will go more into depth with it. I will plan it for some point soon. So you can do that, and then you can also in this file kind of set the default PvP modes. You can set the vMenu player distance. You can kind of toggle all the IDs and controls. All of that stuff can be done in here as well. So if you're using vMenu, I recommend modifying it to needs. Obviously, the server we're running locally, I trust everybody who's on it. So we're not going to make a big deal out of restricting permissions. But for you, it could be different. You may want to restrict permissions. You may want to do stuff like that. So we're going to give the server a second to start up here. And then we're going to hop in game and check out that add-on vMenu option. And we're going to see kind of what we have set up there. So let's go ahead and launch FiveM. We'll take a look at this while we launch it up. A similar framework for free is ND framework. It's still in development. It doesn't have all the function yet, but the dev is very active. That's cool. I mean, there's so many frameworks, and I get the idea behind frameworks. They are easier to develop on and stuff. I just personally like doing stuff standalone. Just keeps it a little easier for me. But there's plenty of people who like using frameworks. So that is fair on all of that. And the server's still starting up, so it's not going to actually let me join yet. Is a framework hard to set up? It depends on the framework, but there's certain frameworks that require a lot more setup than others, and there's some that aren't even supported anymore. So just make sure you're finding a framework that works for you and is easy to set that. How do you disable vMenu voice chat? Well, let's see. There's two ways this possibly could go. Let's check first the vMenu config, and then we'll check the permissions config, because I know you could remove the permissions for it. But I think there's actually a better way of doing it. Let's see. Let's find the vMenu in here somewhere. I'm losing my mind not being able to find it. There it is. Config. So yeah, so everything's going to be done in that permissions file. So we'll go back to our permissions.cfg. Voice chat, I believe, is all the way at the bottom. Voice chat options. To disable vMenu's voice chat options, remove it completely. So you're going to remove all of that completely out of this file, and that will disable it. There you go. Guess your permissions.cfg will remove it if you disable all of it. So there is a good way of doing that. All right, finally our server's up. Hi, J. Carl. Glad you were able to make a server using some of the videos we did. My whole goal is to help you guys all set up servers and have fun with friends, and that's what I do for 5PD and everything. So I'm glad I was able to help with that. Yeah, a lot of frameworks have cheap add-ons. That is true. At least certain ones of them. I know a couple that are ridiculously expensive add-ons, but so here's the thing with MySQL. I can kind of see you guys talking a little bit about it. So MySQL, a lot of resources are going to use it to store data. I prefer to use it to store data. It's the correct way of doing it, technically, rather than using local files. So I always recommend just doing stuff like that. Am I on a beta version of the FiveM UI? I am. I'm running the beta client. It used to be a requirement for the EUP on the non-paid version running the beta client. I don't think it is anymore, but I still run a non-paid version of EUP, so I keep my server slots under 8 and I run the beta client. Oh, the Sandy Motel revamped? Yeah, we were using that in a video. You'll see it in, if you watch one of our 5PD videos. Oh, it's not going to be out for a little while. It's one of the latest ones recorded. Probably in 2-3 weeks, there's a video out on the channel that will be FivePD, that will focus around that hotel. So it should be pretty cool. I can't wait to showcase it a little bit more. Are you on a... Yes, so this UI does look pretty nice. I do like it. It does look really, really cool. Do you get server hitch warnings when you connect to the server? So, like in console? Yeah, I do. I ignore it. It doesn't seem to have a problem. Okay, maybe they raised the slots. I don't know. In the old days, it was 8 slots in beta client. I don't know what it is nowadays. They've probably changed it since I have even looked at their stuff about it. All right, add-on vehicles. Here we go. So you can see all of the ones that we installed now have their own categories in here. So it's going to automatically add them all into the different categories depending on what is in here. A lot of them obviously are emergency. So if we just go ahead and spawn one of these, it's going to spawn us into a truck. I didn't even know this was one of the options. So our add-on vehicles did work pretty well. So we have like in terms of planes, we have the F-18 even spawned in here. There's the Blue Angel one we installed the other day. So our add-on menu is working pretty well. And our unavailable will just be some of the ones that aren't being streamed, like our replace me. And then this one is apparently invalid too. If it gives you an error that it's not being streamed correctly, just make sure you take a look at how you're streaming it and try to figure it out. So there is our utility van we installed the other day. Let's see what else we have in here. We have all our security cars. Very cool. Forgot that. Press E to turn on those lights. So you have all the security cars. Yeah, there's quite a few in here, and then most of them are labeled under police. Obviously, there's actually 90% of them are labeled under emergency. But we have a lot of cool stuff. We got all of our packs in here. I don't know what 18 stealth is. Oh, that's an undercover charger. We have our new Vic. Cool packs. Very nice. And then we have our boats. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the boats. Let's go to the water. Let's test out the boats. The boats are a pack from Redneck Modifications, which most of our packs are from, actually, other than free ones that we use. I'll go over installing the beta version in a moment. So these are the boats. So you have like the medium boat, which is like just your normal one. You have your small boat, which is just like a pontoon boat. And then my favorite one is large boat, which is somewhere in here. Here's large boat, which is the bigger boat. So you have like 3 different sizes of boats. I really like them. Very detailed models. I like how they're set up. Plus they have lights on them, and you can use the extras to turn on the boat lights and stuff. It looks pretty cool. But yeah, let me go over the beta of the UI in a moment. Depends on the hosting you're using. Some it's 8, some it's 10. Probably if you're on Zap hosting, it's 8 would be my guess. What FiveM framework do I use? This is all standalone. This whole server I have set up is standalone resources. None of them require anything else, which is very nice. So there we go. We have installed VMenu add-on cars, which is awesome. All right, let me head to the main menu and I can show you how to enable this new UI, because it's a cool UI. So this is the new UI. It's pretty nice. I like it. It's way better than the last UI redo, at least in my opinion. So to do this UI, you're just going to go to settings. It may look a little different for you if you're on a newer client, but you're going to go to wherever your game is, and you're going to make sure your update channel is on beta. And this is how you get this your thing. So you can figure that out and kind of figure it all out for yourself, but it's cool. I do like it. So if you have any problems, switch it back to release though, if you do run into problems. And then obviously you can have a streamer mode, which is kind of what I wanted to have enabled anyway, but you know, whatever. You do not want blurred backdrop image enabled. This is the same thing that I went over when I did the original, God, what's it called? Like the original video I did on the new UI, you always want to disable this blurred backdrop image. It just causes your performance to completely tank for some reason. Just make sure that's off. But yeah, pretty cool. Zap used to be way more expensive, but now prices have dropped. Yep, that's, I kind of expected that to happen. It's still expensive compared to hosting it yourself though. Like you're paying for slots, you're not paying for the server. Like if, like obviously for, I would understand like raising the RAM equals raising the price, but it raises the price based on the slots, which is why the only reason I don't like it is because of that. And I've had bad experiences when I used it for videos. They weren't that helpful when it came to making sure stuff was off and set to how I needed it. So my personal experience with them wasn't that good. They tried to partner with us, but I'm not that interested in doing that. But it is good for a lot of people. And if you're not willing to set it up yourself or go through the setup, they are easy installers and stuff, works really well. So it's a good service for those who use it. That's kind of my whole thing on that. So let's reconnect to the server real quick. We're going to check out a couple problems that I noticed yesterday while recording, and we're going to try to fix them all while we're here. What hosts are you guys all using in chat? Are you using Zap? Are you self-hosting? What are you doing? Yeah, Mark, that's what I was thinking. You could probably host a FiveM. You could probably host a server for probably the same price on a better performance, doing it yourself. Once again, FiveM, please fix this crash if you reconnect to a server. That'd be nice. Where's my client? What hosting am I using? For 5PD, I guess self-host, honestly, at this point. I used to have a whole dedicated server, which is like 64 gigs of RAM, like just to itself, just for recording. It's a waste of money for me to do it for rarely recording. We record in like, we do like 4 recordings in one night, and we don't do anything for the rest of the week. Do self-hosting, 2 servers with Zap to avoid port forwarding hosting issues. Yep, I can understand that. Zap hosting, okay. A lot of people using Zap. Port forwarding is annoying if your ISP causes any problems. I can see that. FiveM opens up to more pre-configured hosting. They're not going to do it. I can call that right now. They won't do it. I don't know if everybody realizes, but Zap hosting is kind of the legal front for FiveM in a way. They held their trademarks and everything. It's all registered under Zap. So I don't think they're going to move away from Zap anytime soon. You're just running off TXadmin. Yep. It's a good way of doing it. Just keep it easy. You did port forwarding and do the connect code. Cool. The difference in hosting is it's kind of just what you're using at the time. So if you're like hosting on Zap hosting, it's like your default hosting. If you use a different hosting provider, it's just probably due to cost, or if you want to host it yourself. Have I port forwarded this server? Not while I'm live, but yes, I do port forward when I record 5PD with friends. Yep, I do. Depending on stuff. Want me to make you a loading screen? We don't really use a loading screen. There's really no point in this server. But if you're interested in making it for any of the people in chat, maybe they're interested in it. If that's something you want to offer. You used the YouTube loading screen? Okay, here's what I think about loading screens. It's I guess it's decent for like if you're a public server. For me, it doesn't really matter because I'm on a private server and everybody that's connecting just knows me personally. So it's not like we're probably going to be talking on Discord before they even join the server. But you know, it just kind of depends on your use case. I can see why some people really like loading screens. Is port forwarding safe? So here's what I say about port forwarding. If you're doing it publicly, if you're doing it for a full public server where you're going to be like interacting with random strangers, I wouldn't port forward. I would buy a host and do it through Zap hosting, or do it on a VPS or a dedicated server, something like that. If you're doing it for friends and your friends aren't going to leak your IP around, then it's perfectly safe, and I would do it. Is preferring for public? Yeah, so I would say you're probably better off getting a host if you wanted to do public stuff. But you know, do you know if I need to change the config when making the interaction menu? Interaction menu for what resource? Are you talking about? Which one are you talking about? Because I can probably understand more if I knew which one you're talking about. And then in terms of the best loading screen, I would say it's the one that fits your server the most. So, like, maybe not one that... I personally don't like loading screens that blast music at you, because it just gets me copyrighted 90% of the time if I'm doing videos or something, and then it's all editing. But that's just my personal opinion on them. I don't really mind them otherwise than that. All right. We're gonna land and then we'll do some more resource installs. Perfect. Yeah, so even if it's in the server, regardless, if you're ever running anything publicly and you're running it to like a public server facing thing, it doesn't matter how well you hide it, your IP is going to be there. Someone can find your IP. It's gonna happen. So you just got to keep that in mind when you are running public stuff, that your IP is going to be out there. You could ask your internet service provider if they provide a standalone IP, static IP, but most of them don't, for residential customers at least. Which is better, QB Core or ESE? ESX, I think you mean. QB Core is better. Can people DDoS you through port forwarding? I mean, if they get your IP, then yeah. I mean, anybody can DDoS you regardless, but port forwarding just, it opens up the port for them to hit without a firewall, pretty much. So yeah, they can. But if it's just for friends and stuff, they probably won't. Unless you don't have good friends who like to attack you for some reason. But I would recommend not port forwarding if it's going to be random people. But what do you mean by which interaction menu are talking about? I'm not sure which one you're talking about. You can use a VPN, and the thing is using a VPN is kind of just like, it's not going to change the IP people connect to, so it's not going to change anything. Regardless, if you're running a FiveM server that's public, you should be using something that's not your local home network, unless it's just for friends, and then you can use your local home network. That's kind of like the main thing. Leo interaction menu, is this one I've covered? If it is, I'll go look it up again and I can take a look for you. I don't know. Take a look at the forums while I wait for your response. So if your PC has its own IP and it's like a static IP for your ISP, then in a way that would be the same as running a server, like a server farm. You just got to be known that the ISP is going to be leaked and it's going to be public. I have. Okay, hold on. I'll go look at our channel. Interaction menu. I did a 5PD interaction menu. Do you have the name of it? Cause I'll take a look. If you have the name of it, I'll for sure take a look. All right, let's see what else we can install while we're here. SEM interaction. This one? Let's see. So it's drag and drop unless you want to modify it, apparently. Oh, it's the menu that DOJ used a few years back. Like the one that was like popped up in the middle of the screen weirdly. I remember something about that. OVR, you using an OVRP? Is it the one that does cuffs and BAC stuff? Maybe it does. I don't know. You mind if I steal the resources you're going to download? They're all public. Feel free to use them. You use an OCRP, OVRP. God, I cannot speak today. Okay. I don't think I can use this on a local server. I don't have any reason to use it. But you can, according to what I know about it, is you can download it straight and just install it and you'll have all the features. But obviously you're going to have to give permissions, and that's just using the ACE permissions, just like VMenu does in your server.cfg. Same way. They have a whole forum post on ACE permissions if you need it. This is a good one to learn about. Very cool resource though. Give you that much. I just realized I am talking and I've not like allowed any you guys can't see chat or anything on screen in the people in the back. That's unfortunate for people watching this back. I wish that's an option. Maybe that is an option. I don't know. I gotta look into that for the next one. So I would like to have chat on screen, but I don't remember how I do that. Oh, YouTube live chat viewer. I found it. All right, I'll add that for the next stream probably. There's nothing really to edit in this menu. Okay, that's good. Glad to hear it's a pretty drag and drop install. That should be pretty easy. Look, we have a live chat now, theoretically. I'm gonna get that out of the stream. How's the music level today? I want to make sure you can still kind of hear it in a way. Let's see what chat's talking about. You have to make sure to change your keybind back. Yeah, if people attack servers, I don't like when people do it. It's a bad way of doing it. 68 roundabout? That's not how you spell roundabout, but whatever. I'm too tired to correct it. Oh, didn't I literally do a video on it? Apparently I did. Apparently I did. Hey look, chat. You can see chat now. Theoretically, you can chat. I figured out a good way to make chat nice, but we'll see. We'll see what I can figure out. All right, we'll figure out that chat thing in a minute. All right, let's install Route 68 Roundabout. Why not? Let's do it. Maybe make something cool to have. Go ahead and download zip. Oh, I could have just done the releases. Well, I'll do it the proper way. I'll go to releases and download it. It could be the exact same thing though. All right, drag this into our resources folder. We'll go check it out. Get rid of the version number. 68 Roundabout. Server.cp. Ensure that I get rid of that resource. We don't need it. All right, let's launch our server. Let's go check out the Roundabout. Sounds like a fun thing to do. All right. Most people just DDoS CFX more than a certain server. They do. FiveM goes down all the time. Perfect. Music is great. Yay. Thank you. Can you drop the link in chat for the 68 Roundabout? Or what resource are we talking about? Link for what? Sure, but I guess you need to know what link. Everybody planning patrols in the chat. Very cool. The Route 68 Roundabout? Sure. There's the Route 68 Roundabout for you. What type of server is 5PD? So 5PD is the name of the series, which is based off the name of a resource, which is for AI, like AI LSPDFR inside of FiveM. Though, it's kind of evolved past that a little bit. So 5PD is kind of just the name of like FiveM Chase Me, kind of how all the YouTubers in the past did it now. That's the new name for it. But 5PD is still a resource that's currently being recoded, and will release some point next year, I think, in a recoded fashion that's going to run a lot better. So this is the Roundabout. I like it. It looks nice. Looks a lot nicer than the open dirt space thing that is normally here. It looks nice. The billboard looks a little weird in the middle of it, but you know. And FiveM shows, if you mean like what server type am I running here, it's all standalone. We're not using any other resources that are like course. How do I do the loadout thing? So loadout thing in like VMenu, or like the one that popped up in chat that says like BGHD loadout? Because I have a video on the BGHD loadout one. I'm not whitelisting my server. Anybody can be Leo in it, fire, etc. That's a cool way of doing it. Just I know a lot of people get annoyed if there's like, just make sure you moderate it, because a lot of people like trolling if it's a public server. Can you check out RW chat? RW chat, let's see. So it's a QB core resource, I'm guessing. Oh, so it makes like a cool looking chat. That's cool. I'm not running QB core ESX, so I can't really test it out, but it looks like a cool thing. That's for sure. A lot of people in chat probably have better ideas on what these resources, what recommended resources are for servers that aren't running like are running cores and not stuff like that. This is the menu system that you put in chat. Let's see what this one's about. This is an old script, but it may still work. I don't exactly know what it does. Let's take a look. Functions and players are on foot. Is this like, what does this menu do? Not sure what this does. I'm confused. Let me know what it is. Do you have a working NYC minimap / postal script? I don't know of one off the top of my head, but the thing is that GTA 4 is probably, or at least the NYC map is probably so rare, people aren't gonna have one publicly available. So it may be something you need to get custom made. A phone, like in-game phone script, I went over one in the video last week, which is a standalone phone resource, which still has a lot of install stuff, but there's a video on it. I highly recommend watching that for any phone resources. It seems to work pretty well. You live in Germany? Cool. You have a global audience here. A very global audience. Yeah, I don't know about this resource. I have no clue what it does. And person asking about the chat loadout. Is that what you're wondering about? Like the loadout script in chat where I can do like / clear loadout and stuff? Is that the one you're working on? Or / loadout? DP clothing? Let's see. DP clothing. Oh, so it lets you like put on glasses and stuff. That's cool. Okay, so you're wondering about the loadout in chat. I'll go over that in a second. This is a cool script. I'll probably do a video on it. Looks pretty cool. Everybody calls DP clothing Y menu. I've never heard of it. It's 7:33 p.m. for you. Wow. Yeah, it's 11:30 a.m. So still early morning for me, almost afternoon. I spent my morning editing one video and I still got like 7 more to do. People still use the GTA 4 map, apparently. With the menu system, you can hide it in trunks, arrest people, rob people with a cool animation. That's cool. I don't think it's going to be needed for what I'm doing on this server, but I can look into doing a video on it. That sounds really cool. That sounds actually really cool. I'll probably check it out a little bit more. It's because when you press Y to bring up the clothing menu and take on and off the part. Oh, cool. That's what people call it. It's like a cool thing. That's for sure. All right. Are ESX mods also for CFX servers? So CFX is just the baseline underlaying server that is being used. It's every server is a CFX server in a way. It's just the way it works. ESX is a framework that's built on top of CFX. So it just kind of, ESX is like a framework on top of CFX. People just, CFX servers, anything other than a framework like ESX, VRP is technically standalone. It's because your default CFX server. The Route 68 roundabout is right next to the yellow jack and the satellite dishes. I'm standing in the middle of it. It's kind of on the way into Sandy. A weather script, we're using VMenu in here. Oh, let me go after loadout. All right, hold on. I'll explain how I did this loadout script. I gotta find the video I did on it. This loadout script's a little bit different though than what you're probably used to. We actually coded this loadout script. So if you want to do it, it's in C#. We use Rider to code it, but it's pretty easy. It's one class. What it does is it grabs when the player spawns, and it gives it removes all the weapons they have when they spawned, adds a stun gun pistol, sends a message saying you received the loadout, you're good to go. One change I did make to this later on is I added commands. I don't know where the source is nowadays, but there is a video on it here if you want to watch it. It's our only video on FiveM C# coding, but it's a cool resource if you want to check it out. Yeah, graphics pack name NVE, just the latest update, October. You want the link to this one? Sure. I will send it in chat. Is there other ways to port forward outside of your router? So port forwarding when you get out of the router is you're gonna have to reach out to your internet service provider. You could use something like Hamachi, but only if other people are using it too. I highly recommend, if you're not able to port forward, to use a server or something to do it on like Zap hosting or something. But if you can't afford that or anything, reach out to your internet service provider. They normally can help out a little bit. What do I search up to get the Route 68? I put it in chat earlier. If you want the link again, I'm happy to send it. We have a video on it too. Do you have time for an inventory video but on a default server? What do you mean by default server? Like standalone inventory resource, or one part of ESX or QB Core? What are you talking about? Probably. I'll add it to my list of stuff. We have quite a cool amount of resources in here right now, but a lot of resources in here now. I may start doing videos on some frameworks if people are really wanting that. Do I own my own server? Just this one for 5PD. I don't have a public one. It'd be too expensive and annoying for me to release the server, personally. What's my thoughts on whitelisted servers? I like them. The Route 68 is a, let's see, I think it's a YMAP MLO. 68 roundabout. Yep, YMAP. You should organize stuff into different folders. I probably should. But that takes a while. Maybe I'll do just a full stream tomorrow. Just organization. So an inventory where you don't have to pay for anything extra, like extra resources or anything. There's plenty of free inventory systems out there. You just got to find one that kind of works for your server and your framework. Does a free version of NVE exist? Don't think so currently. Maybe. I don't know. I think it's still part of their Patreon program right now. Yeah, I think it's Patreon only right now. Standalone shop resource. Ooh. Looks cool. Yeah, NV is paid. Thank you for confirming. It's totally worth the price in my opinion though. Nothing comes close to matching what it does. If I made a brand new server and I had to do an inventory system, I would probably, if I was doing it like on a resource, like for a server where people are going to be playing, I would do something with QB Core probably. QB inventory system. I'm talking about QB inventory. There's list plenty around here that are even are free. There's plenty of stuff. Other ways to create a server without Zap hosting. Here's your options. You can local host. You can use Zap hosting. You can use a VPS or a dedicated server that you have root access to. That's something FiveM is really strict about. That's pretty much all your options. I recommend doing a VPS. Do a cheap VPS. There are other hosting companies who do FiveM hosting, but they have to be VPS. They can't be like instant setup game server. That's part of FiveM's rules. Because they have an exclusive thing with Zap hosting. So they're quite strict about that. But there are other options out there. You just got to look for them. Let's see what else we can find here. We're past Halloween. Maybe we can look at some Christmas stuff. Free scoreboard UI. I could use a better one than we currently have in here. All right. That's not what I was looking for, though. Let's see what else we can find. We have so many different options in here. Black markets, house shells, ship alarms. RP's coming to this channel. But yes, I have thought about it. We're going to start uploading a lot more FiveM RP type content. 5PD is kind of our like local one, but I'm looking into some RP stuff too. But it's coming. VB banking? Never heard of it. There's a QB coded version and a VRP version. Which one are you talking about? Or ESX? There's a lot of versions. I don't have any of these frameworks installed, but it's probably drag and drop. Yep, looks pretty drag and drop. Yeah, so for ESX, I would just download the English version. It looks like config-wise, it just has all the banks and ATMs already set, so it should be pretty drag and drop for your framework. Yeah, oh yeah, local hosting is another option. Whoops, forgot that one. You can local host it. Lots of server options. Lots of things you can end up doing. Fake plate script, CSX. So I saw this resort yesterday. I think I want to install it now. Let's see, grab a ladder. All right, fine, we're installing it. We're gonna install this one. If you want to check zombies, check TP Advanced Zombies. It's standalone. Maybe it will. Maybe we'll do a zombie episode. Well, we kind of passed Halloween already. Christmas zombie episode. That would be interesting. Slash ladder. Pretty easy, I guess. All right, let's download the latest version. Do this. Let's get a ladder in here. Want the link for the ladder? There's the link for the ladder. Enjoy it. Drag this one in, second folder. Drag in. Rename, copy the name. Server.cfg, edit with Notepad++. Ensure name of the resource. Hop a game, refresh it, and start it. All right, cool. Let's spawn a fire truck, shall we? Engine sound vehicle? Video? Vehicle? What am I talking about? Yeah, I could do that. I was thinking of doing a custom siren video soon. Though I just client-side my sirens in, so a little bit different, but. How to set up ESX. So the thing with ESX ones, it's probably going to be drag and drop for most of them, unless you need to import like a MySQL database or something. I don't have ESX running though, so I can't really help that much with it, but a lot of people use it. Black ladder. Hey, I got a ladder. Awesome. Oh, so then you can like plant it up. Let's go over to a billboard or something. Ease place ladder. I dropped my ladder. Oh. Can I pick up the ladder? How do I pick up the ladder? Oh shoot. I gotta go back and get a new one. Flash ladder. I run the long way. F is drop ladder. Oh, okay. Let's go place a ladder. Go up here. Place the ladder. Climb ladder. Well, that's pretty cool. I wish the animations were a little better, but that's pretty cool. I like it. I'll keep it in the server. All right, let's check it out a little bit. Good afternoon. Hi, Connor. You want custom sirens? Yeah. All right, I'll do a video on custom sirens. I'll do it. I'll figure it out. And server-side weapon / siren sounds. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I won't do a client-side video. Client-side videos are easier, but a lot of people want server-side stuff, so. What are we doing? We're making a VMenu menu server. We kind of was working on VMenu for a while. And now we're just kind of installing a bunch of different resources. This whole server though is VMenu. We're not using any other things. We're just using VMenu. You can install the MLO for Sandy. There's an MLO for Sandy. All right, let's take a look at it. You have a link to it? I just looked up what you put in chat. I don't see it. Can you create a video on how to create a QB core server? We have one. I'll find it. We do have one. That should be the QB tutorial. I'm very confused on the NPWD video. Could you make a more in-depth video? So the thing with that video is that's pretty much as in-depth as I can get on it in terms of just the setup for it. Are you confused on the install? Or are you confused on the configuration? Something like that. I'm glad that tutorial helped you. I know a lot of people were wanting one that was like full on from a standalone server to that, but using the easy installer is the best way. The ESX inventory, you would have to check what its install says on this page, but normally everything goes in the resources folder from what I know. So you're confused on the config of NPWD. I don't know if I still have it installed. Hold on. Let's see. I have it on my other server, I think. I still do. So the thing with the config is the only thing that, from what I know, that you need to switch up is the database and the general based on whatever framework you're using. But if you're using the default install, it should just match what I have in here. When is the face reveal? Funny. I think I promised that like a long time ago. I've never been able to do it. I'll get to it. Maybe on a live stream one of these days. And maybe on a day where I actually have sleep and don't look like a tired person. Yeah, your config should match what I have in here if you're installing it with their default resources and requirements. So, Connor, you made the MLO a while ago. Which one? The Sandy one? Link is above. I don't see a link. Unless it somehow got edited out by the bot. Maybe I'll do a face reveal for some milestone. 15k subs or something. I don't know. Certain number of views on 5PD. We'll figure it out. I'll come up with something. I will come up with something though. All right. I'll close out of this now that we've figured that out. Where did my folder go? There it is. Did I say 10k? Oh boy. I don't remember saying that. Links are blocked. See, it should be sending it to me so I can look at it. Yeah, DM it to me on Discord. If you need my Discord, I'll put it in chat, but I don't understand why it's not sending it to me for review. It should be sending it to me for review, but YouTube, come on. Better than that. So has Com AI actually updated at all? It doesn't work. As well as it used to, at least. They have a V3. Yeah. They did make it nicer. Butter noodles, is that you? What are we talking about? Butter noodles? So confused. I like butter noodles. So this just like adds the option to change how many people are in here. Interesting. Oh, I could look into that. Where on the map is Route 68? Noodles is butter noodles, probably. Route 68. That's not the map. I'm using Red Dead controls. Route 68 is this road that runs from Harmony all the way through up and goes all the way toward the military base and ends up on Route 1 across the map. Or PCH if you're actually from California, is Route 1. But it runs all the way through Harmony and then turns into Sonora Way as you and Panorama as you head towards Sandy. But if you're wondering where the roundabout thing is for that map, it's right next to 3045 if you're using a postal code. It's right in this like roundabout area here. Which is the stupidest place on the map and the AI go crazy. But, you know. That's kind of how it works. You sent me the link. Thank you. I'll go look. Let's see. More screenshots. Oh, so it's like a restaurant. All right, sure. One stop. Wow, thank you for the super chat. I hope I hit 100k subs soon too. That is a dream. I would, if I could end up hitting 100k subs, I would do YouTube full time. I would. But thank you so much. Very appreciated. Does help out more than you can think. All right, let's install this resource. I don't know if it replaces the I don't know if it replaces the restaurant that's currently there, but it probably does. All right. Thanks, FiveM. Typical cracking. I should never reload MLOs. It just that never goes well. I don't think it ever has gone well for me. This game crashes like more than any other game I've ever played. Does it replace, or I already read that one. Which one am I missing? You found it on the forums. You've not seen it yet. You're going to install it. Very cool. All right, let me connect. Thank you for the 99 cents super chat too. What do you mean to say? I read out separately. Oh, thank you. Yeah, 100k would be such a dream. I would love to hit 100k. That'd be amazing. That'd be very link. You guys want the link to what? The restaurant MLO? One that I'm just installing? This one? So you love the old UI is interesting. The one from 2019. Which one from 2019? Like the really, really old one? Or like the one that was the current one now? I don't know which one you're talking about. There's been so many. They make so many changes. I didn't go to the right place, did I? No, I didn't. Do you need to be able to? Do you need a host to be able to have people join your server? No, you can port forward locally. Just I would only do it with friends. I wouldn't like publicly release it. Oh no, it is here. I was right. Your sign's a little glitchy, but it's probably my graphics pack doing it. It's just the way I look at it. But there's actually people inside. That's awesome. You're gonna see this in a future 5PD video, by the way. These people are sitting backwards, but very cool indeed. I do like it. Are these NPCs interactable? Yes, they are. I don't know what just happened there. That was interesting. Oh my god, they're all putting their hands up. When did NPCs do this? Don't even remember. Okay. Very cool MLO though. I like it. You have a nice design. It works well for roleplay. I think I would have some fun with that. I'm gonna leave it in. Thank you for sharing it. I know you'll help a ton of people. I hope that I'm helping a ton of people with stuff. I think being able to just share how you install stuff, how you set it up so you can do it yourself. I know a lot of people, me included, started FiveM when I saw other YouTubers and stuff playing games that I kind of wanted to play in FiveM, and then I started doing tutorials on it. 5PD went really, really popular really quickly. Channel took off from that. So yeah, thank you so much for saying that. It means a lot. I'm glad I'm helping. Yeah, sign is for some people weird. I think it's just a graphics pack, probably. I don't doubt it. Graphics pack messes up a lot of stuff. Though at least with NVE, they try to work with FiveM as much as possible, which makes it a little easier. When I click tab to open the ESX inventory HUD, it doesn't work. I'll look up the resource and see if I can see anything just off the top of my head with the page. Is it this one? If it's this one, the default was F2, so that could be why. Just make sure you should go into the code of it, and if you can go into the code of it, you can see what key binding they do, and then there's literally a wiki on all the key bindings by number, so you can go through here and figure out what number it is, and then compare it to yeah, tab should be the weapon wheel. I don't think anybody would override that. But yeah, you should look in the config for a number and then compare it to this document. That's what I would do. I'm glad you've been watching for years. It means a lot. I know there's a lot of viewers who just come, subscribe, and then leave, but I'm glad for some people have been enjoying the stuff for a while. Very nice to hear. And hopefully you guys are enjoying the streams. Let me know if you want me to keep doing streams, because I've been enjoying them a lot more than just recording standard content. I mean, I'm doing both, obviously. There's still videos coming out standardly, and there's shorts and everything else. But I have enjoyed doing live streams because it just lets me communicate with everybody more directly. There's a Mars map. Well, I don't think we're going to go to Mars anytime soon, but cool. Streams are the best. All right, more streams. Got it. I think that would be cool. I think we could do more streams. Stream sometime in OVRP? Probably. I'll probably do some videos on there before I stream anything though. The thing with streaming with RP stuff is I don't know if I'll ever release a rough cut of some of our 5PD videos, but those videos are like an hour long and they get edited down to 20 minutes of actual content. The rest of it is pure. We spent a good I think it took a good 45 minutes of just murdering each other at the end of one of our 5PD videos the other day. Maybe I'll leak some of that content at the end of this stream. Maybe I'll show you some of that raw content only for the people on this stream. There's some interesting crazy stuff we get into. Add car skins, so like textures of cars. Probably could do that, but I don't have any. All my cars have a lot of textures already. I'd have to find one that supports my cars. Is it possible that I can unequip the weapon wheel so I can have that inventory at the button? I mean, you could change your default GTA settings to your key bindings. Under key bindings, you can change it to like weapon select or something. Weapon wheel, you can change it, but that'd be a little weird in my opinion. Hey Jace, welcome to the stream. Add jobs. So for this server, we don't really have a use for jobs. I mean, it's fully VMenu based, so I don't think we have any use for jobs per se, but it's something that I can look into, I guess. I mean, if we're doing like a RP server, maybe jobs would be a good idea. I don't know if it would work then. It would depend on what your settings are set to in the configure file for that resource, for the ESX resource. But if you disable the weapon wheel from tab and you add the button in the key binding to tab, it should work. There's no reason it wouldn't, at least theoretically. Staff situations, you don't want something others to see. Yeah, I mean, the thing with streaming and doing gameplay, like if I was doing gameplay on, like, let's say Red Dead or GTA single player, things like that, it'd be a little different. But if I'm doing FiveM where I'm communicating with people, I don't know what people are going to say on a stream, especially if it's a public server, not like all private members. I can't take that risk. It'd be too bad. Is this localhost or is it ESX? This is a localhost standalone server. I'm not using any frameworks on it. But I know other people who love using frameworks. Are you like jobs? So it depends on your thing. If you're running QB Core, you could just come to the forums here and type in QB Core jobs, search and releases, and there will be like a million of them. So you can find as many as you want here. Yeah, you can figure it out. Find as many type of things. Just type in your framework and then call, say, jobs, and there's going to be a lot of them. There is a whole lot of them. You have a good localhost server, custom MLOs, cars, guns, etc. Very nice. I know a lot of people like using a lot of custom things. I actually, personally, I only customize emergency vehicles, helicopters, planes, stuff like that. And I keep most of the other cars default. It just reduces the amount of problems people can run into with graphics and stuff. Jay says, how are you today? I'm exhausted. I stayed up till 1 a.m. recording 5 PD videos, but we got enough for the next 2 weeks recorded, so now I gotta go through and edit all those and render them and upload them. I've only done 1 so far this morning, so got like 6 more to edit after this stream. But I wanted to hop on a stream because it's fun. How are you doing? How's everybody doing in chat? Hopefully you're all having a good day as well. Hopefully you're up to something fun. It's the weekend. It's raining where I am right now. Or I think it is. I haven't looked outside yet. It's cloudy. It looks like it's going to rain today. That's enough excuse for me to stay home. Car needs. See what this one's about. Turns off the GTA vanilla radio, speed limiter, idle AFK cameras, working brake lights when your car is stopped. I swear we have that, but if we don't have the working brake light when the car is stopped, we're going to install this and check it out. Let's see. Let's just go steal a car. So let's start. One of our scripts adds brake lights. Yeah, we do. Those are just running lights. Okay, you know what? We're gonna add them. We're gonna add the script. Because I'm sick of turning off the radio. The speed limiter, not my problem. I'm gonna turn that off, but the rest of it, pretty cool. Let's install this one. I feel that I'm developing something right now, so fun times. Fair enough. Developing stuff is really cool. I like doing it. I do it for Minecraft a lot. I'll stream that at some point, but I know people on this channel really like FiveM compared to Minecraft stuff, so I tend to focus on FiveM as much as possible. Apparently I didn't type that correctly. Am I an idiot? Let's see. Probably. I did the config though. Top speed. I'll switch to 900. Readme. Why didn't that start correctly? Let's see here. I don't know why that's having a problem. Let's restart the server real quick. Yes, I know. Go away. Let's see what happens when we restart the server. Maybe it's just having a heart attack. I'll reach out while we do that. Add LMLOs, we'll probably do that. Turn the radio down in settings. Yeah, my radio is off in settings. But I know others who don't turn it off for some reason. Just annoys them. I just create a server by watching your videos. They're so helpful, but I don't know anything about a third eye option. Please help. Third eye option? You mean like third person camera. Can you explain a little bit more what you want, what you're looking for? I can probably help out a little bit. Sounds interesting though. Couldn't find resource. Okay. So guess what? We're gonna rename it. We're gonna rename it. We're just gonna name it FPR car. We're gonna do that. Start it now. Check it out. Can I add a phone in localhost? You can. I did a tutorial on phones last week. NPW something, I think. I don't exactly know the name of it. That's the best phone resource I've seen anywhere around. You can put ESX or QB in localhost as well. Just use your XAdmin easy installer. Couldn't find resource car. Huh. So there's something up with this resource. See if we can figure it out. What did I just rename it? I can't even remember. FPR car. Feeling my brain's starting to go. What is this? Okay, first of all, that's probably going to cause an error. Refresh. What's the folder name? FRP car. There you go. Okay, so quick note, don't add random lines in your FX manifest or stuff isn't going to start properly. So authors, just remember, make sure you do it correctly. Can you do a video about it? I've done a video on ESX and QB Core locally, installing it locally at least. I do recommend you check that out. You can find them here on the channel. You have ESX here from a year ago. You have QB Core here. If you're looking for VRP, you have VRP here. And then if you're really looking for something outdated, you have Essentials mode back in 2021. So there's a lot of them. Installing EUP is always fun times too. Yes, it is. It's a nightmare. I just use the pre-made EUP menu. I don't even do custom stuff. If I want to browse something like collect material from recycle use at alt key options instead of the default key. So if you want to change your key bindings, there's two ways to do it. In game, if your resource supports it, it will be in your settings, key bindings, FiveM menu. I'll show you that once we get in game here. But if you want to change them in the script that doesn't support that, so you can see anything in game you can find in settings, key bindings, FiveM. This is any of your scripts that support it will showcase in here. So if they're not in there, you're gonna have to change it in the configure file of the resource of your needs, and they'll have a number and that goes to the thing. So we are in the car here. The radio does not work. It doesn't even pop up when you press Q, which is really awesome. And the brake lights obviously work. That's awesome. So the brake lights now stay on when you come to a stop. Very cool. And there's a speed limiter too. But we set it to 900, so it doesn't really matter. I've tried everything with NPWD. That's the resource name for the phone. But I can't take pictures. Will you help with that? So here's the thing with the picture system. The picture system requires API keys from a third-party service along with a place to... Oh, boy. I hit that person off a cliff. Along with a place to host the system. So I would recommend you read their documentation on it. They have a really good documentation on it. I'll actually pull it up. Because they have a really good amount of documentation on it. Let's see. Forgot where all their documentation is located, but let's figure it out. Yes, install. So they have a really good documentation on doing the camera functionality. So you have to create like an account on Error Media, and then you have to grab an API key and then add it to your server.cfg file with this thing. So you're going to do set screenshot basic token, the token. And then you can That's what I would recommend doing overall. But if you want to use either Imager or something else, you can set it up with their API. But to set up the camera, just try Air Media first, set this API token, and you should be okay. It should work straight out of the bat there. Let's see what else we have in chat. I think you can help me become a better developer. I don't do one-on-one stuff that often, other than the streams, because I've been asked by authors not to particularly help with anything one-on-one outside of YouTube, which is kind of sad. But some developers just, they want to handle support themselves, so I'm not going to get in the way of that. But I try to help as much as I can. Discord's the place to be if you want. You can hang out on our Discord, mainly for Minecraft stuff, but we have a FiveM community channel where people can hang out and talk about stuff. Imagine having 200 sirens, LOL. Yes, I am aware of that for your server. That's funny. All right. The game runs a lot better with, if anybody's running NVE, make sure to update to the October pack, because it seems to have boosted my performance significantly. And it looks just a lot better. If you're using NVE, make sure to update to your October pack, because it does look pretty good. All right. Let's see what else is on FiveM. We'll do a couple more resources before we end off. Website for your roleplay server. We don't need a website. If you want to use a website, just use the free host for it. Something. You don't have to do anything big. Why am I getting beat up? All right. Dealt with. See what else we can find. Belts. Fake license plate systems. I swear, I don't want to beat up you, dog. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna get in my car. Okay, leave me alone. Standalone free AI police escort. Glad to see a lot of international support as well. Thank you guys. You're gonna have an AI police escort. I just want to kind of mess with this. I'm planning on making a 5PD server with my friends. What do you recommend I do? So here's what, like 5PD in the way that like kind of we do it with, like, do you want to do 5PD with the script or without 5PD's actual script for AI policing? Like where you're all cops, or do you want to do cops and robbers? You can explain a little bit more. That'd be great to know. Can you add an inventory in localhost? Like an inventory script? Yeah. I mean, it depends on what it requires. If it requires MySQL, as long as you're running MySQL locally, then yeah, you can. It comes down to whatever is required for it. Let's drag this in. I'm not actually gonna... I'll add this to my server, actually. Refresh. Start. Oh boy. Here we go again. Here we go again with this problem. Let me guess. The FX manifest has something stupid in it again. No, it actually looks decent this time. It's probably this, actually. Yep, it was. Format your FX manifest correctly, please. That doesn't cause problems. Both. So 5PD with both 5PD script and just chase me. I recommend doing what I did with this server. Do it standalone. Do it in VMenu. Just add the resources individually one by one. Don't use a core for it. And then you can run it locally if you're doing it with just friends. You don't need to use a host, because there's no point if you're just doing it with friends. All right. Police was it escort? What's the command? Maybe we should have read the thing. That's not the resource. We already looked at that one. Police escort. Oh, cool. So, do I just drive forward? You're gonna get in front of me? Oh, that's awesome. So it goes one in front, one behind you. Oh, they just follow you. Oh, that's really cool. Will they speed up if I speed up? Oh, okay, maybe I shouldn't speed up too much. Oh boy, they're gonna crash. This is quite funny. Very nice script though, I like it. The only thing I the only thing I find funny about this is they're going to crash. Yep. So I guess they follow where I'm going and they try to find a way to match where I'm going. Yep, they do. That's really cool. Though it's not always gonna work. There's gonna be it tries to estimate where you're going and it overcompensates a lot of the time. But that's a cool resource. I like it. There's probably a way to customize what car it's using too. Oh, well, he's dead. Let's see if they catch up. I want to see if I get pretty far ahead of them if they catch up to me. I want to see how it works. All right, let's say if I get over here. Yeah, they're going to catch up. Maybe. I don't know where that second unit went. Okay. Or crashed straight into me, my own escort. That's rough. Don't crash into me. Yeah, very cool. I like the resource. Very cool resource. What's the... Is it stop escort? Yes, it is. And then they drive away. Well, very cool resource. I like it. Can I install that menu system right now? I'll take a look at it. Let's take a look at it. Do you have a free script of Easy Admin that has give command in it? I don't know what you mean by give command. Is it like... I've done a video on ES Admin, but I know it's free, I think. But I don't know what you mean by give command. Alright, let's download this. All right. Reminder for everybody watching, make sure you're actually installing the second folder rather than the first folder for most of these resources, because then it won't actually start. All right. All right. Started that menu script. So I think someone told me it was Y. What's the key binding for it? F6? Oh, it is F6. Like turn off engine. Oh, so it like runs a command. So you need so it only runs the command. It doesn't actually. Oh, so you actually have to install a resource that does the other functions. I see. Okay, so that's a pretty cool thing. So yeah, it's just drag and drop, other than you just have to set up a script that does like /engine and /hood and trunk and all that stuff. Like give the item ID, auto rifle ID 1 ammo. That would be something with a framework. I don't know of any of those personally. But that would be something with a framework for sure. I can't spell, but let's see. So I wanted to make it something with like a chat. Maybe better to just customize that by manual way doing it. I don't know. Let's see. I'm glad that it really helped you. I'm very glad that the localhost video helped. I'm gonna redo some of those old ones pretty soon, but looking forward to it. There's a lot of cool videos on the channel. We have like over 1,000. But I'm glad it's helping some people. All right, I'm going to answer chat for a moment and drink some water before we install our next thing. So I'm just going to fly around the map. So send me any questions right now you want in chat before I get to the next resource. If you have any videos you want to see in terms of FiveM or even gameplay, whatever you want to see with gameplay stuff, let me know right now. I'll give you my feedback live about it. And then we'll go ahead and install the next resource. Can you install a door opening and closing menu or command resource? Probably. I just use VMenu though. That just keeps it easy for me because you can just go down to vehicle doors. I don't know if like any of this will work, but yeah. See, that's the tail hook and the front door. I just use VMenu. Whee. You want this jet? Sure. I'll send the link to it in chat in a minute. It's a nice one, right? I think the liveries are all the numbers, yeah. 1 through 6. So you can actually have all of them. Like you could do a whole role play of Blue Angels. I saw them live actually recently. Up in San Francisco. I think it was the Blue Angels. If I remember correctly. Whee. Very nice handling. It flies like the default jets in the game, but... Have you done an updated video on the Badger Discord API? As I know it's been updated with guild IDs and you have multiple Discords being used. I didn't know it was updated, but I can look into it. If you need a guild ID, I'll show you right in a minute on how to get it. I don't mind showcasing that. That's a pretty easy thing to get. You're looking for a resource where you do like /trunk? I could probably find those resources are probably pretty easy to find because they're just probably in most menu systems, honestly. Can you do a video on a civ pack called POLS cars? Could you send it to me on Discord? That's way too small for me to go under. If you send it to me on Discord, I'll look into it. Just DM it to me. Noodles3212. Alright, I'll do one more loop and then answer any of your final remaining questions in chat. And then I'll send out the link for this US Navy fighter jet link map thing. And then we'll install a couple more resources before we end off today. Oh boy, that was close. Injured my engine, but that's alright. I didn't need that anyway. Spaghetti? What was spaghetti? Oh boy, you pull up. Alright, I'm okay. Spaghetti's good. I like spaghetti. Sent in DMs, perfect. I'll take a look at it in 1 second. Let's just go land this plane. And then I'll send the link to this model so you can all have it if you want it. It's a pretty nice one. Oh, well, I tried. That's coming in way too fast. All right. Let's take a look at all these final couple questions and resources and stuff. I got a message. FiveM Civ Pack. Take a look. Oh, it like adds like a bunch of cars. Download and install Git. So you would only need to move the PLOK cars directory and add ensure that. The vehicle spawner directory would only be if you don't have a vehicle spawner already you want to use. So to install this one, you would just download it, put this directory, the cars directory, into the resources and start it up, and you can spawn them in like any other cars in the game. I already know how to get the guild ID, but it's updated to where you use multiple roles from other discords and link it all together instead of using one discord with every role in it. Interesting. I guess I could talk. I guess I could take a look at it. Maybe do an updated video. That may work out well. Good idea. Can I do a install of VMap thingy or whatever it's called? VMenu? Do you mean like the menu system? Quinton said it's one of the maps you were talking. It was one of the packs you were talking about. This vehicle pack for the civs that I saw in game the other day. It's a pretty cool pack. Some of the cars are broken though, from what I could tell. Especially the orange one. It has some weird texture glitches on it, but. Can you install the SEM interaction menu? I don't have ESX running locally, so I can't without installing ESX, but it's something I could look into to do a video on for sure. The building things? Y maps, you mean? We've installed a lot of Y maps. Oh, let me get you the F18 thing. All right, if anyone wants the F18, I threw it in chat. Okay, so like Y maps for dealerships and stuff. So any Y map on the forums could be drag and drop. But I'm not sure what you mean. If you mean like add-ons for like a core, I don't have that installed at the moment, but just let me know. Discord server, it's linked in the description. Can I look at the config? Let's see it. Let's take a look at the config real quick. So this is the interaction menu we were talking about. And for the question about new guns added to VMenu, I'll go through the config in a second and I'll see if that's a thing. So what are you trying to do in the config? Let me know what you're trying to do in the config and then I can take a closer look. Question, what is the difference between a resource.lua and an FX manifest? FX manifest is what everything should be now. Resource.lua is outdated. There's tools that convert them. They still both work, but anything new should be using an FX manifest. It should not be using a resource.lua. Everything should be using our FX manifest at this point. How do you add cars to a server? It's pretty much drag and drop if they are FiveM ready vehicles. So for cars, we can take a look at our server here. And then inside of our resources folder, you can see we have all these different cars. So we have like a transit car. We have a stream and data folder. The data folder holds all of the .meta files. And then the stream folder holds the YFT files, YTD files, which are the car model itself. And then our resource.lua or FX manifest just points to those files and defines which one is which. And then you just start up that folder and then it will load your cars. A lot of cars are FiveM ready though, so you can just drag and drop install them. I think it's Y mapped, like when you update a building. Yes, so that is called a Y map or an MLO, depending on what you are doing. It's pretty much drag and drop. So kind of like what we did for cars. You can see in my thing here, I have like cabins and an island and stuff like that. Inside here, there's just a resource.lua file that all it does is is this a map? Yes. Manifest version in that's important for FX manifest more than here. And then in this stream folder is just the .ymap folders FX Manifest, no, that is current. FX Manifest is a current thing. Though you have to keep them updated for the version you're on. Can you add a car dealer and localhost so you can buy cars? Depends on the framework you're using, but yeah. Okay, so when you are installing SEM menu, that helps me. Thank you for putting your question in the chat. So installation, you're just going to drag it into the resources folder just like you do with any other resource. You're going to do ensure the interaction menu just like this. You do not need to drag it into any plugins folder, script folder. It's just going to be your main resources folder. And then for your configuration to make it F6, it would be the config.open menu with the value, and it should have a value. And then that value should be one of these numbers. And then you're going to look on this page, on the docs page, and I'll send the link in chat, and you'll find the number you want and replace. So in this case, if you do F6 would be 167 would be the code. So that would be your key binding number for your configure file. How do you make a 100K or die server? Can you explain what that means? Not that sure what that means. But if you let me know what it means, I can try to help out. Let you know how you do it. Have I missed any questions? If I haven't answered your question, let me know. And I'll take a look again. I don't think I've missed any questions this time. I think I've gotten to most of them. I think I've sent all the links everybody wanted as well. I think I've gotten everything everybody wanted. Let's see. New guns to VMenu. Sorry, I did forget about that one. So, a couple things you're going to have to do is in your server.cfg file, you're just got to remember you got to run the enforce game build. Well, now I got to change my passwords. Enforce game builds. See, I knew I was going to leak something. It's just a recon password. It doesn't matter. It's not going to run anything anyway, but whatever. Luckily, this is a unique password that no one else has. So enforce game build, you can see I'm forcing 2699, which I believe is the latest. So you would drag it in the resources folder for your FiveM server for that menu. And then there is a server manual for all of the versions that you have. And I believe, God, what is the... It's interesting. I don't know exactly what they call it anymore. Game references, maybe? Like versions? I don't know where it's located under here. Let's see here. Hold on one second. I'm going to find you the documentation for server stuff. Here it is. So server commands, you're going to do SV_enforce game build, the game build number or the alias. I would do the number. It makes no sense to do the alias. You're going to enforce the latest one because every build enforced for the latest one enforces everything for the past. So the latest one is 2699, which is the criminal enterprises. So I've gone ahead and forced this one because then it's going to force all the rest of them to also be included. So all the weapons and everything should be included once you force the latest game build. Because when you give all weapons on VMenu or something, it will force all the weapons from there. And then if you're running RedM, obviously it's the same thing, just a different version numbers. So there you go. Pretty cool. Have I made a video on the LuxArt Siren Control Box UI thingy? I don't think I've done an updated one, but I can show you it in game in a second. I added a /VS menu and it worked, but when I got rid of the old spawn codes and put the spawn codes in my server on there, it broke. Is a VS menu like a vehicle spawn menu? What's the old spawn codes? Did you put like new spawn codes and they're not working? What do you mean by it broke? Didn't spawn the vehicle, crashes? Can you give some more info? You would drag it in the resources folder. That's your FiveM resources folder. It would be where you drag that script in. I was gonna go in game and then showcase the LuxArt. All right, hold on. I'll do that. I'll go showcase LuxArt a little bit. All right, let's hop in game. Check out LuxArt. So what do you want me to showcase on the LuxArt? Just how you like modify the UI, how you use the menu? What do you want me to showcase? You need help putting in NPWD? The video I did is probably going to be the best resource I can help with putting in that resource. The video showcases everything you kind of need to do for the steps. If you follow that exactly, it should work for you. If it doesn't, I believe they have a support system on the forums where you can ask on their thread. Of course, FiveM crashes. Typical day. The setup, it's drag and drop, unless you're using a custom siren pack. Same thing with old LuxArt. Still drag and drop. You can see in here, LuxArt vehicle control. This is the old one, I think. Or is this the new one? I think this is the new one, yeah. So you would, you just configure this to your liking, park, kill, air horn, master switch, whatever else you want to do. And then if you're using, you can modify your keys, your volumes. Custom sirens, though, would be in your sirens.lua file. And this is where it gets a little bit more complicated. It's going to be based on your sounds that you put in. If you're streaming custom sounds, you would have to modify this file. But it's drag and drop. Otherwise, I'll show you the UI in game in a second. Yes, I took my default spawn codes it came with and put my car spawn codes on there. And then it broke saying it's in the server, but it did not come up. If nothing is opening up, what in the world is going on right now? If it does not open up your menu, that probably means something in the configure file when you were configuring it broke. I would, if it's in JSON, run it through like a JSON checker. If it's in oh god, whatever language, Lua or whatever, just make sure it's formatted correctly, because sometimes that happens. Have I done a video on Discord vehicle redirect? I think it's multiple roles to restrict vehicles on both. I've not done a video on that. But I've had a suggestion to do a updated video on Discord API, so maybe I can include that as part of that video. That is no random crash. That is the stupid crash FiveM has still not fixed, where if you reconnect to a server after you've connected to one, it crashes out of its brain. So that's a fun one. Is it possible to show how to set multiple respawn points randomly? What do you mean by like just how the server spawns you? Is that what you mean? Like just where you spawn? I think that's in the config somewhere. But we can take a look in a second. Let me show you case some LuxArt stuff real quick. So let's say you got like a emergency vehicle. Just spawn one of our new ones. And then you press O to open up the LuxArt control menu. You got your main siren. You can change your tone options, standby sirens, primary siren toll. You can change this based on what you have in the server. Siren park kill is an option here. Audio settings, radio controls, siren box, air horn button clicks, activity reminder, volumes, all that can be there. Storage management's where you can save your settings and stuff. If you want a HUD, you can enable it. You can see it in the bottom right hand corner there. It changes based on what you're doing. Lock it, reset it, whatever you want to do. Backlight on or off or auto, whatever you want to do, you can reset it. You can also move it. So if you click move mode, you can then drag it over the screen, put it where you want, and then you're good to go. I don't like the HUD. I keep it off personally. There's no point. I can just listen to the sounds it makes, and I can get everything that I need from there. So overall, cool script indeed, but I prefer just doing it kind of like the old LuxArt in a way. Hey Fox Smith, hopefully you're doing good today. What do you need help with? I need a phone script that works on a VMenu server. I would do the one that I covered last week. That's the best phone script. I know a lot of people are using it. I am setting up a free-for-all gun type game, but it doesn't work if I place other respawns. So I don't know if the default FiveM, let me cut the siren because I know that can get annoying. Let's get out. I know the default FiveM, I swear, has its own like spawn system, right? I swear it has its own spawn system somewhere. Maybe I'm wrong. I may be wrong. I think I'm wrong. Yeah, I think I'm wrong. But I would find a resource that modifies those respawn points and just make sure it supports multiple respawns, and you can add that, or you can make one. Just listen to the death event of the player and then send them to a chord based on your needs is what I would recommend. Is this going to be a public whitelisted or just a friend server? Right now it is just a local friend server that we use for 5PD recording. I like using it for that. It does have a couple paid resources on it, so I don't think I will release the files publicly. But I have no reason to probably make it a public server unless I have some reason to. But I don't think so. You can't find the video on the phone. I'll send it right now. Give me 1 second. Let me find the link. There you go. So for the question about changing the key bindings in the config, it would be wherever your like number for key bindings are. I would say it's probably under the open menu section of that interaction menu, because that's what it said on the wiki, but it doesn't gameplay. Oh, it probably is somewhere in here. Player data, probably. Players by ID, joining, state, prefix. I don't know. It could be anywhere, honestly. Default chat, theme. I don't know. I'm not gonna mess with it. I have 2 local hosts. One hosted by TXAdmin on PC, and that is QBcore. Second one is used to start by .bat, which I watched one of your old videos how to use without TXAdmin. So I can do standalone QBcore without messing anything up. Yep, I very much think that's a cool idea. I personally don't like TXAdmin for my servers, but since I'm running standalone, it doesn't really matter. So I just use the start.bat method, but I like it. Pretty cool. Do I have a vehicle link for LuxArt V3? Sure. I can send that to you. Here's LuxArt V3. It's a pretty nice one. The only time it requires much setup is if you're using custom server-side sirens, but other than that, it's drag and drop, which I like. It's a pretty nice one. It's a pretty nice way of doing it. All right, I think 2 hours, almost 2 hours 15 minutes is probably a good amount for today's stream. I got 6 more videos to edit before the end of the day, and I got a couple more things to do, so I would have probably had this here. I'll wait a second to see if anybody has any last minute questions in chat. But otherwise, I'm going to try to take it easy a little bit for the next couple days, but we'll see how it works. For some reason, my LuxArt V3 doesn't work with OneSync. What's going on with it? Because I'm running OneSync and it's not having any problems. So it should be working fine on OneSync. Do I change the default button or button menu in the config? I mean, if you want to change it for everyone, I would do the one in the config. But just look for the one that matches the current one that works in game for you and switch it to the key binding that you need, that you want. Thanks for the stream. You are so welcome. Maybe I'll do one tomorrow. We'll see. It's the weekend anyway. Any final questions from anyone? Is the stream delayed for a few seconds? Other than YouTube's just small delay, I'm not putting any extra on it. It's possible. You can kind of tell the delay by what's in chat. So if you send a chat message, you can kind of tell the delay based on when it gets shown up in when it shows up in chat. So Jace, there's no errors. It just doesn't work with the Leo cars, and it works only 10% of the time. Are you using ELS vehicles, or are you using non-ELS? If you're using non-ELS, all my cars are non-ELS, and I've never had one problem with it. If you're using ELS cars, it's not going to work with those. You're going to have to set it up with a resource like ELS Plus. Yeah, there's probably something conflicting then if you're having problems like that, Jace. It'd be hard without looking at it, but just try to go through your other resources and make sure nothing else is modifying the police lights or anything. And just try to slowly go through it and try to figure it out, would be my suggestion. There's something going on, though. You shouldn't be having problems like that. Also, make sure your server artifacts are up to date. Bye, Sky. Glad to see you here. All right, everyone. If there's no other last-minute questions, I'll just give it one more minute, and I'll end the stream off today. But thanks for hanging out. Thank you to those who use super chats and stuff. Very much appreciated. And I'll try to be back tomorrow. Maybe we can do daily streams if you guys get lucky, and if I have time. So we'll see how it works. Maybe tomorrow we'll do some roleplay. We can check out some servers. How many Y maps or MLO maps you can put on a server? There's no limit, theoretically. You can just kind of throw them on until it crashes, and then, though, if it does crash, you're probably running out of memory or server CPU, or one of the Y maps is actually causing a crash itself. Just go through one by one and remove it. How do you update TXadmin? I can probably do a video on that. It's kind of the same way, I think, as just updating server artifacts by just replacing some of the files. I may be wrong, though. I may have to take a closer look at it. I don't use TXadmin rarely, like ever. But I will take a look at it. But yeah, thanks everybody for hanging out, and I will see you all tomorrow, most likely. But thanks so much for hanging out, everyone. Yeah, maybe I can check out zombies next time, too. Maybe we'll set up just a random zombie server, and I can let some people on. We'll figure it out. We'll have some fun with it. All right, but thanks for watching, everybody. And I'll see you next time. So have a good rest of your day on this. Should be pretty nice Saturday if it's not raining where you are. Anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. See you next time, and have a great rest of your day.